Hi everybody, my name is Jan Dufour and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can go to my blog at stampmesilly.com. You can email me at jandufour@yahoo.com, or you can order from me at jandufour.stampinup.net. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you would like some free catalogs, please email me and I'd be more than happy to send you them. Currently, we have our annual catalog that ends in May. We have a brand new mini catalog that goes from January 4th to June 30th, I think. I think that's the date. And then, of course, for the next 2 months, January and February, we're going to be in the middle of celebration. So there's that to be looking forward to. Today, I am making a simple birthday card. It's for my granddaughter, and it's using, I hate saying it's my favorite, but it's one of my very favoriteest, and I was immediately enamored with it. It's called Sentimental Swirls. It's from a $1 Million seller. Her name is Sam. She's in the UK. And she has wonderful videos on this. Go out to YouTube. I can't remember her last name, but she's Poodles from the UK. So I'm sure if you Google that, you'll find her. Love, love, love the simple sentiments. This swirly thing, she calls it a build-a-set because you can use this to just build upon in different capacities, etc. And I did, because it's my granddaughter, add a stamp from Lighthearted Lines because it is her birthday and I don't want her to grow up because it's a trap. So I had to use that as well. But of course you would not need to do that. You could do everything with this one stamp. So this is the card. It's a simple happy birthday. And then I wrote her a personal message, which I'm closing up. And it says, "Don't grow up, it's a trap." So we're going to put that aside. I'll tell you what you need. I'm using half a sheet of basic white thick cardstock, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm using a 3 1/4 by, what did I say? Yeah, 3 1/4 by 5. An additional white. I also have a scrap for the happy birthday, and actually it's a trap inside as well. Then I have 2 sheets that are 4 by 5 1/4, and that's to make the outline. So we'll start, and I use the multi-purpose glue. I like that it gives me time to get things glued down and moved around if I need to. So I simply put a little bit of that on there. And this gives it 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And my old saying is, if it's right on 3, it's going to be right on the 4th side. So you can just look at these 3 and lay it down because it'll be right. Then I also put one on the inside because I wanted a little extra color. So put some glue on that. Again, it's 4 by 5 1/4. Put that in there. We'll let that set. I'm going to sit this on it for a minute. It's a big one, and although I need it shortly, it'll give it a little extra time. The ink that you need is Memento Black, or Memento the Tuxedo Black, and then I used Real Red on the inside. I am also using, I'm going to close this up for a second. To add color, I'm choosing to use blends. To be perfectly honest, there's not a lot of opportunity to blend. These are just my go-to colors. Markers would be fine, of course, or not coloring it at all. Actually, in the stamp set, I used this stamp and this stamp and this stamp. But as you can see, if I wanted to add color by using an actual stamp pad, I can do that because this will stamp inside and give it color, etc. So for every stamp that they have, there's an internal stamp to add color to. I just chose to not do it that way. Sam tells you when you lay this down, I can't remember the word she used now. Oh, shoot. But you have to like drop it down and let it settle because it can get very wonky. And she used a very British term and it was funny and now I can't remember it. So if you go out to her site, you will definitely see it. But anyway, so, and I just used black. I've seen this done with like greens, like it was an actual vine. That's very, very flattering and very pretty. I've seen lots, go to Pinterest and you'll see lots and lots of different ways to use this stamp. And of course you can do it all over the place, or you can just do a little bit of it. And that's what I chose to do, was just to do a little bit of it. I have, gone off the page with it all the way around. There's internal swirls that you can use to add additional curlicues if you want to build up on it too. So that's awesome. So there's that. Then I'm going to put the little birdie on the branch, and because they're photopolymer, you can see through. So I want to put my little bird sitting, whoops, I don't want his tail feathers in there, sitting on the little branch like that. I can go ahead while I've got the ink out and stamp happy birthday. This is just a strip that happened to be the right size. So of course I'm going to use it. And then, again, you don't have to do this, but I chose to use the other stamp set that says, "Don't grow up, it's a trap." And I used, oh, I need some leaves. That's okay. I used red, real red, for "Don't grow up, it's a trap." I thought that was kind of funny. She's turning 12, which is close to, I don't know, 800 years old. In kid years, I guess. She's very mature. I am very appreciative of that. I can put this away because I am definitely done with real red. Let me add a few leaves and a flower. I'll set this aside while it dries. And I don't know, use this to give it a little depth and to play with, see how easy it is to add on. And even if they don't exactly touch, it's all okay, because it's that kind of stamp. Oh, and I made a mess. So what I can tell you, there's a couple of things you can do with that. But my favorite or easiest trick, which I have to get in here to get, is this sand eraser. You can get these anywhere. It's made by Tombow, but I'm sure other people make it too. And you can actually remove ink. I think this one's going to be a little bit too dark, but I bet if I worked at it, it would come off. I'm not going to take the time today, but just so you're aware, it's a very inexpensive eraser. It is actually got like grit in it. You can see it's much lighter. I'll just move the happy birthday over to that side so that I don't have to play with it. Or I could, I don't know, stamp another swirl or two there and it would get rid of it, but we're not going to go there. All right, so I'm putting that away. I think I have stamped everything. I'm going to start by using the light blue on the light balmy blue is what I was supposed to say. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the dark balmy blue just to highlight. And you'll notice that I'm just drawing a line and I'm not being real careful where I go. Don't get overly excited about it not blending, because as it dries, it actually does start to blend. And if you want to do it a little bit more, you can add just barely a touch of the light again, but you really don't even need to do that because it will all blend in. And I do the same thing with the leaves. Oops, I don't want the brush end. So again, not a whole lot of room to blend, but it does give it a little bit of depth, I think, if you do use the blend. I obviously didn't clean that stamp before I used it. in my video. But live mistakes are good mistakes, because you can see we all do them. Doesn't matter how long you've been stamping. And you notice I'm just making a little line, and it's real obvious at first. So I'm just going to leave it like that for a little bit so you can see how much it blends. It may not be enough for you, and that's okay. But this one you can see is already starting to give a little bit of a blending. So I'm just going to go in near it a little bit and add so that it's not such a harsh line. And what I'm doing for movement is this is exaggerated. This is it in a little bit, just to help with the colors to come together. Why do I have red? Oh, I forgot to stamp a little flower. Well, there you go. What did I do with that little flower? Bird, leaf, oh, flower. Geez, right in front of me, it's gonna bite. I might even, choices. Look at that, can't even see it. Let me see how big this is now. Originally, I wanted this to go up in the corner, but it ran into the bird. I could put the saying right there. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I put the flower in a little bit of a different spot, as you can see. So now we'll color the flower in. This is the lighter color, not being real careful. That's one of the fun parts of coloring. And I see artists, they're true artists, sitting there and intensely filling in. But this set doesn't necessarily call for that kind of artistic work. And I'm not an artist anyway, so that takes care of that. And see, I just am filling in little pieces. And again, kind of small. Doesn't really have the opportunity to show itself. But anyway, so there. Now I have it all colored. I'll put these out of the way so that they're not bothering us. I'm going to take this and add it to the red cardstock. As you can see, if you're not aware, when you use alcohol markers, it does blend through. So you always have to be careful or aware of the surface that you have underneath it. I knew I had something that is made to take that, so that was okay. And then I am going to take my scissors. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh yeah, well, good for me. You know what? I'm gonna use my actual cutter because I have got to also cut a red layer, which I didn't, and it's scrap, so I'm not going to give you an actual size because it doesn't really matter for you guys. I turn out all of the lights in my studio so you don't get a lot of shadows. That makes it dark behind me, so that's where all my stuff is. So I'm just going to put a very narrow border. As you can see, I moved that a little bit. That's the joy of using glue. And there. All right, put that aside. And we're going to grab some dimensionals, which I also forgot to bring out. There'll be a complete list of what's used. Well, both sides are sticky. 1, 2, oops, Now that's weird. The back side's coming off. So there's 2 sides of non-stick. This is not going through the mail, so normally I don't put as many dimensionals because it's not really necessary. But I also don't like it to cave in when they touch it. So, oops, not upside down. I think right here will be lovely. So we put that. Get rid of this. And then on the inside, I will just put some more glue. And then if you want to write a personal note, you could put that right in the middle if you wanted to. You could, whoops, well, that's not going to work. You could put another white strip here as I did in mine because I wrote a note on there, but, or you can just use black ink and write in there and that would be enough. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for joining me. If you have any suggestions on things you'd like to see, you can also leave that in the comments. Have a great day. Bye.